What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the stream. So I'm excited. Today we're going to be doing some holiday glitter. Everybody loves glitter and everybody loves the holidays. So here we go. So we got a couple different ones. I get these ones from Glitter Hippo. You know, turn it this way. So they have a mix called Feliz Navidad, and it's basically just red and green mixed. So we can try some of those. We'll do a batch with that. And then I also just have green and red, of course. And so I thought we would do a little bit of fun stuff with that, where we have kind of separate colors. So that is what we're gonna do today. It should be pretty fun. I'm excited. I love doing these ones. We're gonna be using the Gatling molds. These things just make things so easy. So I really like these silicone molds. And these are available on my website if you wanted to go with a vertical. These have a little bit different dimensions than the P-Town subby ones. I personally wanted to have a little bit longer blanks when I was doing my vertical pours. So I couldn't get those with the P-Town subby, so I just made my own. They're also a 7 blank mold compared to the 6 that you get with P-Town subby. However, this one's a lot more expensive. It's quite a bit of silicone. But the P-Town subby ones work really good too, and they're available on Turner's Warehouse or ptownsubby.com. They're like a square kind of looking thing. I have some 7/8 cavity ones, and they have 7/8 by 6, and you know, for like pen blanks, 7/8 is a little bit big, you know, kind of. I bought these so that I could kind of put stuff in them and it'd be a little bit bigger, but to be honest, for pen blanks, I like the 3/4 better. So they sell those. They're, I think, 5 1/4 tall. But I wanted my blanks, I wanted to be able to pour like up to about a 6-inch blank, which you can't do with the P-Town ones, unless you buy like the super long 8 1/2s. So anyway, that's what we're going to use for the mold. I have an announcement. A few people were kind of bummed out that they missed out on the candy cane blanks that were available on my website. So I decided, you know, we only made 6. I'm going to do another batch. So those are back in stock on my website. So I'm just going to link to the limited editions. They're also linked in the description below. But I'll link to those if anybody wants to pick those up. I need to cut them, but they're already in stock on my website. And the pumpkin spice blanks are there, as well as the holiday pine cone. There's not very many of those left, the holiday pine cone pen blanks, as well as a few stopper blanks. So anyway, we got all those things. And then these, most of these are going to go into it'll be a little bit late, but they're probably going to go into the subscription boxes. But I will have a few extras left, and they'll be up on the website if anybody wants to pick them up. But let's stop real quick. Let's see who was here first. Kim was here first. Nice. And Mike McEwen. Brian's here. Kim. Did I say Kim? I think I said Kim. Kim was first. Paul and Ann. Nice. Joe. The 2 Pauls. Philip's here. And Connie. Kid Cooper's here. And Ray and Mark. Nice. I am doing pretty good, finally. Still have a few little congestions and things like that, a cough every now and then, but I'm doing pretty good. Gretchen, she got it way worse than me with the COVID. Oh my God, she couldn't even sleep. I mean, she would just cough all night, and it kind of kept me up. And we're in this like tiny apartment where we really can't separate ourselves. So I think that I've been run down for quite a while, and it might just be that's the way that COVID works, but I've been still kind of, not 100%, but I think my immune system was also fighting all the germs that were in our apartment from her. But she is finally, last night she actually slept all night without coughing, I don't think once. So we're on the mend. We're going to be taking our test. So I took a test on Sunday because my parents just moved into a new house, and that's a whole fiasco on its own. But they just moved, and they're brilliant and didn't think to like actually really mark the boxes. So like they don't even know where their pans are still. It's been weeks, and I'm just like, oh my God. But I can't help them because we were out of town. It's just things are nuts around here right now, kind of. So I took a test on Sunday to see if I was negative so that I could go back and help them this week, and I was positive again. So I think that there was just too many germs. So I'm going to take another test this weekend, and hopefully we'll both be negative. and we can move on with our lives without masks and all this craziness. But overall, I'm doing pretty good, and the Black Friday sales went really well, so thank you to everybody that purchased blanks and stuff over the weekend. I appreciate that. It was pretty good sales for me this year. So hopefully you guys got some good deals on Black Friday. I was grabbing a couple things. One thing that I'm excited about, we bought a sound bar for our TV, and I'm super excited to see if that helps. We have trouble hearing the dialogue. We have stereo speakers and they're good, but the problem is they're really meant for like music. Plus our apartment's all kind of weird with like the angles of stuff. So that was one thing that they had like a 30% or something like that on, or maybe even more, on this soundbar and subwoofer setup. So we're hoping that our TV viewing pleasure will be a little bit better and we can actually hear what they're saying on TV shows. But yeah, man, my sister got the flu. Like basically like the week before I got sick. So this bad flu that's going around, she was out of commission for like 2 weeks. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I try to ship fast because I know that I hate waiting. Like, they're like, oh, it'll take, it's like 2 days shipping once we ever get to like packing it up. I'm just like, oh my God. So I always hated it, whenever I'd buy something and they would like process it for 5 days, then it would get, 2 or 3 day shipping. So I try to do pretty fast shipping, as fast as I can. I ship on Monday. The best way that I figured out to do it so that I'm not just constantly shipping stuff, I ship Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so what happens is I usually do the like shipping, packing stuff up and processing orders the night before that. So most of them are done, like Sunday night, I do late at night, I do the shipping stuff. And then Monday I drop stuff off. So one other thing that I want to mention, if anybody like orders something and then you're like, oh, I forgot, this other blank, just shoot me an email. And as long as you catch me before I send it out, I can alter the order and add another one to the order. You have to check out before I can ship it, but we can take care of that stuff, and I can do it in the same order so it's not all kind of confusing. And again, that way you don't spend like twice as much on shipping. So just wanted to let you guys know that. But yeah, a lot of people, I think a lot of people think that I'm super crazy about stuff because they'll like put an order in on like Monday morning. And so I try to like grab anything that came in, overnight or in the morning before I leave. And so some people order something and I'll pack it up and it'll be shipped by like, within an hour. So it's pretty fun. So anyway, let's see here. Yeah, I know. Well, in the Gatling molds, like silicone molds, I don't keep these things on stock in stock because there's a lot of money in silicone in this, and so these are made to order, and it does take longer when you're doing made to order stuff. But most of the pen blanks and then like the honeycomb and all the other stuff, as long as I've got it ready, it's just ready to go. So anyway, so I was mentioning in the chat that I realized that I was out of resin and I needed to open another carboy set, so like the 10-gallon kit. So I already did the part B. I did one of them, and I thought, why don't we just do this on the stream? I'll do the other one and show you how I do this. It may not be, there's probably easier ways to do it than I do, but I thought let's break open a big jug of resin on the stream real quick. Let's see here. I need my knife. Where'd my knife go? Hold on. Where the heck oh, there it is. Here's the knife. So I got to go open up another thing. And we were doing the Patreon Q&A hangout before this, and Gene had mentioned that, I think it was Gene, or maybe Ann. Actually, it was Ann, mentioned that alumilite's still out of the gallon kits of alumilite clear slow, possibly even alumilite clear. I didn't look at that, but what we found though is that Turntex has the gallon kits in stock. So like the 16-pound kit, which is basically 2 of these size. Like what I use on the stream here. Turntex still has it in stock. Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know if you do need alumilite clear, man, they've been out of it, and I haven't talked to anybody at Alumilite, so I don't know what's going on, but they've been out of it for like, I don't know, like it's been weeks, I think, maybe a month. So I'm going to try and see if I can do some digging and find out when they're going to get stuff back in stock. But so first thing I do is I actually mark these things just because like the label, this is the part A, it's on the side and I store my stuff. I can't see the labels. So I always put, this is a part A. I put that on the front of it and I also put it on this little cap thing. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little cap. It's like to let it like breathe when you're emptying it. So I put an A on the front right there and there. Now, what you have to do is you have to poke a hole in that. So I just use a drill bit. I got my hole. That's ready. And then you also need to poke this out. Now, you could probably drill this. I don't really want plastic. Like that little 1/8" drill bit is, you know, it pulls all the stuff out, but a bigger drill bit, you may end up kind of getting like plastic chunks in there, so I don't do it that way. What I do, I need to wipe this off real quick. This is not, there's probably better ways to do this, but I don't know it, and I've been doing this for 10 years, so I'm just going to probably keep doing it this way. I have a knife, and I just knife out this whole thing and then try and rip out the big disc basically. So it's not fast, it's not pretty, but it works. And I don't get any plastic chunks in the resin, which I don't know. I don't know if, like, actually, I actually dropped the tab for the first time in 10 years into the jug on my alumilite white, but typically I can pull this whole little tab thing out if I do it right. Like I said, not pretty, not quick, but sometimes we just do things the way we do them, you know? And then I just kind of, now that you guys are watching, I'm going to screw this up probably. I just kind of grab that, and then I just kind of slice this thing, and I pull the tab out so it doesn't fall into the resin jug. And then you put your nozzle on. Let me put this knife away. And then you get yourself a little, nozzle thing. And then I actually wrap it with some Teflon tape so it doesn't leak or anything. Hopefully, let's see. I'm going to have to reposition this. Where's my camera crew? Jeez. Hopefully that's on camera now. Getting it started is the hardest part. There we go. Oh, okay, that wasn't enough. I gotta get a new Teflon. Don't worry, I got like tons of this stuff. I went on Amazon and found like a 500 pack or something. not 500, but 20 pack of these things. So I should be good for like the next, lifetime. Told you, getting it started, that's the hardest part. There we go. Oh, come on. I wrap it a bunch. Probably not necessary, but again, it's the way I do it. And then we just put our nozzle in and we're ready. All right, so I'm going to move this back and I'll show you how I have this storage set up. Just in case anybody cares. Okay, so I just have all my jugs just sitting there. And alumilite, I asked them to send me some fresh jugs, some clean, new jugs, and they didn't put a label on it. I'm like, come on. I have my little platform there. We need the part A. That's what I just did. And before I even begin, because they didn't put a label on this, I'm going to mark my bottle. I already did the part B. And these are different caps, and I'm actually going to try these caps out. I don't know if they changed the jugs or something like that, or if this is just some kind of janky jug that they sent me, but I'm going to try this cap out and see if it's any better than the other ones. I doubt it, but it's not like the child-proof cap. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We'll just give it a shot, see what happens. So I marked my jug, crack open the little top thing, and then I just let it fill up and we're good to go. So, pretty exciting stuff. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna, on the part B side, go back to the silicone plug thing from Brian because they work a lot better. But I thought I'd give this a shot and just see if there's any improvement whatsoever. So, did anybody get anything cool for Black Friday? Did you see any like super crazy deals out there on anything? Did you get something really cool? Let me know. Like I said, I got a sound bar. I got a few different things, like little random supplies and things that are just good to stock up on. Nothing super spectacular. Nothing super spectacular in like the resin or turning world. That I know of. The problem is I didn't need anything, that's one of my biggest problems with Black Friday is I'm like, well, I just ordered resin and most of the supplies and things I need, I just order when I need it and I don't really need to stock up or anything like that. Okay, so we are ready to roll now, finally. We've got some resin ready to rock. I'm gonna reposition this camera. Sorry guys. I'm gonna get this thing back somewhere. Where does this thing go? What's going on here? Here we go. Gonna position it like that. I think that's good. If I don't put my drill bit away, it'll be lost. Okay. So now we're ready. We can do a little bit of casting here finally. Oh, they had clear slow for the Black Friday. Huh. Well, okay. Well, they're out again. Oh, you guys brought a cold. Yeah. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law both got COVID. They're from Phoenix. They went to Vegas. He got sick with COVID, so he's locked in the back of their house. And then she got it, and I thought it was kind of funny that she was surprised that she got it. I'm like, this thing is just contagious. So then they ended up just leaving because they were at her parents' house. Didn't want them to catch it, so hopefully they didn't catch it too. Yeah, a lot of people are sick right now with all kinds of various different things. All right, so let's see here. Got your Christmas gift order, and we'll be breaking it in early. Pressure pot. Nice, that's cool. I didn't see any pressure. Was there a sale on them? That's cool. Yeah, I know, and safety caps. Those things are tough because the part B on alumilite clear gets stuck, gets crusted on there, and then it's a safety cap, so it won't open, and it's just, oh man, those caps are terrible. Terrible. Like I said, I have a feeling we're going to see on the part B on these new jugs or whatever. It's the same jug as the old one. It's just a different cap. So we'll see. I mean, it's not going to solve the problem of it crusting up, I don't think at all. So I don't know. Probably going to go right back to that silicone one after about a week or so. Footprints in the sand pen. That's cool. Sweet. She did find one on sale. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I wish they would have. I don't think Turner's Warehouse had those on sale, and I didn't see any other California Air Tools sales or anything like that. All right, so we're gonna do two different two different castings today. And so I have two of these Gatling molds. Oh, and I can link to the Gatling molds if anybody, like I said, I'm warning you, they're expensive, but if it's something that you think would work well in your shop, I do make them to order. Otherwise, if you want silicone vertical and don't care about the having like a 6-inch deep hole for a 3/4 inch blank, you can get the P-Town subby ones, and they're cheaper, quite a bit cheaper, I think. But they only go to like 5 1/4, I think. So it didn't work for what I wanted to do, so I just made my own. But I don't know. I saw quite a few sales on different stuff. I was looking at, I don't know, I was looking at electronics, and I knew for, like I've heard a lot that there's a lot of businesses like Target, Walmart, things like that. Electronics, I think in some cases, as well as like home goods and things. I heard that there was a lot of overstock, like people, because there were supply chain issues, so then people bought way too much, and then there's been a little bit of an economic downturn, and so there's like extra inventory on hand. And so I was like, I bet that there's going to be decent stuff on like TVs and stuff. We were thinking about replacing our TV. Our TV is like, it still works fine. There's nothing wrong with it exactly, but it's like, man, it's like 15 years old or something like that. And like I said, it works fine. It's not a smart TV, which I actually kind of like. I think that I'm going to hate a new TV for a while until I get used to it. But again, you know, we had issues with our sound bar and all. Like there's certain things with the connections that I think that a new TV would actually work better, like hooking up to our Apple TV and like PlayStation and Nintendo Switch and things like that. I think that certain things and the picture quality is going to be better. So I don't know. We were looking at TVs, but I don't know. If anybody's bought a TV or looked into that lately, there's so many of them. Like I have no clue where to even begin. It used to just be like, okay, just look at the picture quality and it was fine. But now there's a lot of other things going on with the technologies. So we're going to do two different sets here. Like I said, I get this stuff from, I forgot to link to this, Glitter Hippo. And I think that they have this in stock. Oops, I just did something. Let me look this up real quick. I bought this stuff last year, so I think they should have it though. Worst case scenario, if you really want this, they have you know, red and green, and that's all it is. It's just mixed together. Let me just search for Feliz. Okay, yeah. Oh, seasonal mix. I don't know. They have a mix called Holly Jolly, but that's not what I'm using. I don't know. I guess maybe they don't have it now. Really annoying that they change things a lot. All right, well, they don't have this exact one with just red and green. They have one with like red, green, and I don't know what else. Oh, I guess red and green. It's just a terrible picture. They're calling it Holly Jolly now, I think. So I'll link to that. My mouse is not working. Yeah, mid-Feb, yeah. Yeah, actually, that's with the TV. That's why I kind of waited, because I knew that's the other thing is everybody gets super crazy excited about Black Friday, and then they buy a bunch of stuff, and then Christmas rolls around, and then everybody like returns stuff, and there's also this other sale. Mid-February is maybe one, but like right after New Year's, there's also a lot of sales then that I find because people want to like get rid of the old inventory. So I kind of knew that I was going to have other opportunities, so I was kind of keeping an eye on things. Oh, they had $50 off the California. Nice. That's cool. You have plenty of TVs. Yeah. The sound problem is because of the speakers. I have a unit, like a receiver, and I have these old Bose speakers that are bookshelf speakers. And the thing is, they're like the old Bose where it's like it bounces things off walls, but our TV's in a corner in our house. It's just a totally weird setup. And these speakers sound amazing with just music. But when it's like it's trying to process Dolby Atmos stuff for streaming and things like that, and it doesn't convert correctly. And I have like a super tiny center speaker that's meant to be with like a satellite, 5.1 surround system. It's a messed up system, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just try a sound bar. See if this is better. I don't know. If we don't like it, we're returning it and we'll just do something else. But all right, so the first batch, what we're going to do is we're just going to go with the Feliz Navidad, or the Holly Jolly is what they're calling it now. It's just red and green glitter. So we're just going to load it up in our blanks, in our resin, pour it in, and we're done. It's a pretty simple way to go. And then for the second round, what we're going to do is I'm going to try some separated red and green, slightly separated. So what I was thinking is I'll do there's like 7 blanks that you can get out of this mold. 7 blanks can go in there. I was thinking like about half, obviously not, we can't do half and half, but like 3 blanks we'll do where there's like red and then green, like kind of stacked where it's separated. And then I thought, let's try and do like red and green kind of boom, 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 boom up the ladder kind of thing. And just kind of see how that goes. It shouldn't really mix together a ton, I don't think. And I like to load it up. So with this, the fine kind of tinsel glitter stuff, I like to just, pack it, like load it into the blanks, a lot of it, okay? So I pack it in. Now, for things like these, like the shape glitters. I don't know if you can see that. Let me switch to the overhead view. These are our leaves, so like fall leaves, or another one that I do is like the shamrocks. And so these shape glitter things, I don't load these up because what ends up happening is they can kind of get stuck together, and you get like weird kind of cracks where there's no resin on one side of this thing. And so you kind of end up with a bunch of like areas where there's no resin holding together like 2 of these leaves, and it can kind of cause problems when you're turning. So I try to kind of go a little bit sparing on larger things that are large flat things like this, but for these little tiny ones, I don't really find it to be that big of a deal. It's not a problem for like the tinsel glitter stuff. And I think they actually call this now sprinkle glitter. It's even smaller than tinsel. So whatever, this type of stuff I load up. So let's see here. Yeah, end of December. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I need to think about, one thing I didn't do is like prepare for any of this stuff, of course. I need to figure out how much I put in there. There it is. Okay, so okay, yeah. All right, so like I said, we don't have to think too much because it's just drop it in, and that's it. We don't have to mix or do anything separate. So what we're doing here, let's see, let's find a new clean, fresh page. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. You probably won't be able to really see what I'm writing necessarily, and it's upside down, but today is 11/30. Man, we're almost to December. Getting crazy. Holiday glitter. is the theme. So number one, we're doing what I have is called Feliz Navidad. Again, it looks like it's the same as Holly Jolly, is what they are calling it now. I'm going to be using my Gatling mold, is what I call this, and slow set clear alumilite. All right, so this mold holds, I'm going to mix up, I think about 300 grams. Ought to be good. Kind of did things backwards. I just did this. I haven't used the Gatling mold for these I've only done it a couple times, and I have conflicting records. So I think 300 grams is probably enough. So that's 150 grams times 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add 60 grams. I'm actually going to weigh this out. You could probably just do this by bags, but I started doing it by weight. So we're going to add 60 grams of Feliz Navidad, of glitter basically, which I think is going to be probably about 3 bags. I think these come in about 20-gram bags, but like I said, I weigh it out just in case there's a discrepancy. Just in case. All right, so let's get a cup out. All right, sorry, I was just reading. You guys are talking about the retail biz. All right, so we got our brand new fresh resin. How exciting is that? We're going to do 150 grams of Part A. On the dot, look at that. Oh, 0.1. Oh, 0.0. 150, zero that out. 150 grams of Part B. Dang. On the dot again. Whew. Doing good today, guys. Doing good. So I like to stir up my resin when it's without any stuff in it so I can see and make sure that there's no wispy trails or anything. You're going to end up mixing this enough that it's probably not a big deal, but I feel most comfortable personally just making sure that the resin looks clear, there's no wispy trails, and I've mixed it properly right off the bat. Alumilite clear slow has a 12-minute working time, so we got plenty of time for this. In fact, I'm going to be kind of standing around waiting for the right temperature to pour. I do wait for a specific temperature just to make sure that the stuff, what ends up happening is we're waiting kind of till the end of the working time. The resin's going to get a little bit thicker, and you're also going to be closer to the point where it's just going to harden up, right? The end of the working time where it converts from a liquid to a solid, and then it locks in your stuff. So I always do this with glitters and things. I wait till the end, and that way, you pour it in, everything's good. Now, I load this up so much that you could probably kind of get away with not having to wait. However, what would end up happening if I poured this right away, the glitter would probably compress a little bit, and you'd have maybe about an inch or so of just clear, basically, where the glitter would fall. So you're just better off waiting till the end. That way you don't have to worry about, having no glitter at the top, basically. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to put this back on the scale. And like I said, we're going to actually weigh this out. Again, I think you could probably just get away with calling it by how many baggies that you want to put in there, but just to make sure. In fact, I've zeroed the cup out, so I don't need to weigh it. I know that it's going to take probably at least 3 of these bags to get to 60 grams. And you would want to, adjust that. This is 300 grams of resin, and we're putting 60 grams of glitter in there. If you're doing 600 grams of resin, you're going to want to put 120 grams of glitter. All right, so that's pretty good, but even when you pull out the stick, there's still a lot of clear areas. So we want to go more. We want to keep it going here. So at this point, that's 21 grams. And I like to kind of stir it while I'm pouring it, just to kind of, otherwise it gets kind of really clumpy. So you're always better off kind of stirring it in as you go. It's always a good idea to kind of tap the baggie. You'll have glitter everywhere after you're done with this. It's already getting kind of thick. That actually might work, but we're going to go more. I like to get it real, like I said, I really load these things up. So now we're at 40 grams. So like I said, you could probably just, call it 3 baggies and you're done, but you can also weigh it. I'm going to put it on the scale now. Yeah, I'm just going to call it 3 baggies. Somewhere in the 60 gram range is good enough. Okay. Where did we get to? 60.5. 3 baggies should be enough. And this stuff's fairly cheap. It's not super expensive. I think it's like $3 a bag or something like that. I'm sure it's a lot cheaper if you buy it in bulk, but I don't know where you get it in bulk. Because frankly, I use so much glitter. It would be something that I might be interested in, but finding the bulk supplier of this exact thing, that's a different story. So, someday maybe I'll be the glitter man. We'll see. Oh, mini lathe, nice. That'll be fun. So my question is, what do you want to turn first? What kind of project are you looking to do? You get that thing set up, you're ready to go, you got your tools. What are you going to chuck up first? Okay, so I think let's see here. I think I'm going to wait until about 98 degrees. The resin temperature, that is. We're at 79 right now. So this is what I was saying. So there's 12 minutes of working time. And so we got to basically wait a few more minutes here for this resin to heat up more and thicken up more. Then we'll be ready to pour it. And this is one of the reasons why I don't really personally like using like standard epoxies, because they're usually like a 30 to 40 minute working time. And in this case, like I'd have to just walk away, like I'd be waiting for like 25 more minutes. So that's one of the reasons why I like alumilite clear slow. It's 12 minutes is enough time to get most things mixed up and all ready to go. Sometimes super complicated. If you're trying to do a ton of different colors, or you got a lot of complicated steps going on for the mixing and all that, then that's why you'd want to pull out a slower setting resin for sure. But I find alumilite clear slow is just kind of like that perfect amount. I zeroed the cup out with the stick in there. We're at 84 degrees. And one thing, you know, we added 60 grams of this glitter, and it's going to kind of increase the volume a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. So, you know, if you're used to pouring X amount of grams in a certain mold, if you add this much glitter in, it may kind of, you may end up with a little bit extra, basically. So just to kind of let you know, it can kind of change things when you're dumping a bunch of stuff in there. $88 degrees. Always hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. All right, so we can save these guys for another time. That's pretty fun, huh? Get it on camera there. Not too shabby. So this is a pretty easy way to go, is just, you know, have green and red all in the same cup. But we're going to try and get a little bit funky with some of this stuff. It'll be kind of fun. We're 90 degrees. So again, I'm waiting till about 98. I know that's pretty specific, but it just kind of works out. Am I going to buy your ornament? Possibly. I got to get, it's bidding. I don't, you know, I can't buy it. I gotta win. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting in there and bidding on some ornaments. Man, there are so many good ornaments. Oh, did you guys see that Chad was on TV today on Fox? Check it out. So go and watch this at some point. What is wrong with my mouse? Copy. He did a really good job. So he was like interviewed basically. So Turner's Warehouse was, you know, like basically on the Phoenix Fox News. But it was really cool. I thought that he did such an excellent job of, you know, like enticing people. I have a feeling that there's going to be some new Turners getting into it because of that thing, if they saw it. It just, he was showing off all the different really cool stuff, pens and rings and all these different things. And he answered a bunch of questions, you know, the camera crew, they don't know necessarily anything about what turning is or anything. And so, you know, they had a couple dumb questions that, you know, like all of us are like, okay. You know, and I have a feeling Chad maybe had to, you know, try, you know, like really think about not rolling his eyes a little bit on some of the things. But for the most part, it was really good questions. They really showed off, you know, turning, wood turning. And one thing that was cool is they really hit on resin turning stuff too a lot. They were all excited. Wow, look at this resin stuff. You know, it was just kind of a cool thing. So make sure to go and check that out. They put it up on the Turner's TV YouTube channel, like the whole interview. And one thing that I really was impressed with that I thought was cool is it's like 8.5 minutes long. It's not like, oh, there's this dude and there's this ornament thing and whatever, 2 minutes in and out, you know. It was like 8.5 minutes, and the guy actually, the interviewer guy actually did some turning. So, you know, pretty cool. I don't know. Make sure to check it out. Give him a like. And subscribe to the Turner's TV YouTube channel too. There's Chad. Chad has his own, and that's what most of their content's on. But there's also the Turner's TV channel as well. All right, so we're at 97 degrees. Nice, sweet. Doing the live streaming, that's pretty sweet. Star Wars X-Wing and Imperial TIE Fighter Sphere. That's cool. Sweet. Okay, I think we're there. 98. Yep, 98.5. All right, and so just down the hole. And one of the things is with all this stuff, you know, this glitter mixed in, there's also quite a few air bubbles in this mixture because there's like a lot of areas where air can kind of be trapped. So this is a case where you definitely want to fill all the way to the top because the volume is going to go down once you pressurize this. So basically you're not going to get a 6-inch blank once we pressurize it. And it'd be the same thing even if you were using like a, you know, I don't think I would recommend a resin that doesn't, I would recommend even if it's a slow setting resin to pressurize something like this because the air bubbles really aren't going to have a good way to get out. But even with that, you know, air bubbles are going to kind of come out of that and it's going to, you know, lower the volume as it's curing. So I like to fully, you know, fill these things to the brim, and actually I over pour it. Like there's going to be a puddle on the top of this thing just to get, you know, the most blank that I can out of this. Okay, so I'm actually just like overflowing this. That ain't gonna hurt a thing. All right, and that's all you have. You just mix it in there, pour it into your mold, and you're ready to rock. It's so awesome. Glitter blanks are fun and easy. That's what I like about them. So let's pop it into the pressure pot. And I like pouring in these cups. It gives me a nice, easy way to kind of pick up, you know, the mold and everything without having to grab and squeeze the mold itself. And if you're, you know, pouring a bunch and making a mess, it'll contain the mess a little bit. So this is the 2.5 gallon California Air Tools pressure pot. And you can pick them up at Turner's Warehouse. I got links in the description. I'm pretty sure there's links in the description to this pressure pot. It's a great pressure pot. And they also make a 5-gallon version that's a little bit wider diameter and a little taller. So depending on the types of projects you're going to make, you know, you can get 2.5 or 5 gallons. 5 gallons is going to be a little bit more, you know, obviously you can do smaller things as well as like bigger bowls and things. But I find that if you're only going to be doing smaller things, I would get the 2.5 gallon. It's cheaper and it's just, the lid is a lot easier. It's just easier to deal with. The 5 gallon, the lid's heavier and a little bit harder to clamp down and all that. But if you're definitely going to be doing larger projects as well as small ones, then just go with the big one if you can only afford one pressure pot. If you got enough money, I would get both. You know, it just makes things a lot easier. If you're doing small projects, do the small stuff in there. And if you're doing large ones, use the larger pot. The other nice thing is then you have 2 pots, you know. If you have more projects than one pot can handle. So we're going to dump the rest of this in here. This cup is going to be pretty crazy. So the subscription boxes, this is the final cup. Final fun cup. We got 9 other ones. So that's fun. How bad is mica powder? Not really so much. But anytime you're mixing stuff up, you're going to introduce air bubbles. I mean, there's no way really to get around it. Mica powder is not as bad as like glitter, like chunks of stuff like this, you know. But they're all going to introduce air bubbles, you know, by you mixing the resin up. It's just inevitable. All right, so I like to put a little acetone on a little wipey thing here. Oh, you know, we got lots of stuff on the back there. And just make sure that I'm getting all the resin off my stir stick, and then it's ready to go for the next one. Totally ready. I just wipe it off or waft it off. Okay, now this one is going to be a little different. Now I need a drink because my throat's dry. Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, wasn't that a cool video? He did such a good job. I mean, he's just super chill anyway. You know, I don't know if you haven't actually like, you know, met Chad in person, he's just super chill. I'm not surprised that he did such a good job on that, but I was like really impressed. I mean, they were asking lots of questions, and you know, I probably would have had to laugh at some of the questions. I'm just not that good, you know. But he's just super chill. He's very, you know, he's a really good teacher too. That's something where I kind of fall down. Like I'm like, you know, he can really put people's, you know, minds at ease. He's very calming in a sense. So it was awesome. It was a really cool interview. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and they showed the ornament challenge stuff and like, I mean, everything. But there was a lot of information about wood turning and what he does. And I got to be honest, I'm going to hand it to the camera crew, the TV, you know, interviewers. They asked pretty good questions for the most part. There was a couple, you know, kind of, if you're a turner, you're like, what is he talking about? Like at one point he's like, oh, I got to watch out and make sure I don't lose my fingers. Okay, it's not a table saw, it's a lathe, you know, so probably not going to lose a finger, but, you know, certain things like that. But they asked really good questions, and they were, you know, interested in the stuff that was going on. And it was a good piece. I was like, wow, this was awesome. This was good for like everybody. Like it was like a win-win-win situation for everything. So let's see here. I'm just reading these questions. How rookie you are? It's not about how good you are at any of this stuff, but I gotta be honest, everybody did. I mean, there was lots of good ones. You did good ones. I don't know what you're talking about. Rookie, come on. I will say there are some people that, I mean, these ornaments are like way over the top. Like I don't even think you know, you're talking about being a rookie. You saw the ones that I made. I mean, they were simple. I don't go crazy on these things. The beauty of it is, though, what I found is regardless of what you make, and I really hope that some people, that this didn't happen, that they were like, oh, I'm not going to win, or I'm not going to make a good enough ornament, and then they didn't make them, because all the ornaments get sold. So it doesn't matter what you made, they're all going to, you know, sell. Now, of course, you know, some of the more intricate ones are going to go for probably more money, but you never know. I mean, honestly, just people want what they want. Let's see here. I just missed something. Yeah, oh man, Turner's Warehouse has like everything. They didn't even talk about knives. They have like an entire section of knife stuff too, which is probably, you know, one of these mystery boxes. I have a feeling down the road we're going to be making a knife on the show. Okay, so let's see here. The half discount, yep. Nice. Oh, you got to meet him. Yeah. If you're in Phoenix, definitely. Now, Phoenix is a gigantic city, so if you're like on the opposite side of the valley, it's not as easy to just drop in, depending on where you're at in Phoenix. But if you have the chance, if you're running through Phoenix, definitely go and check out their store. It's awesome. And they just opened, so they have their store, which was like full basically, and then they just rented another space, and that's like their studio. They do the stabilizing. It's air conditioned over there. So there's like the video studio. There's the classroom is what that is now, and they also do like the wood stabilizing and stuff. So it's pretty sweet. They got a lot of stuff going on. UV resin with mica. One thing to watch out with UV resin though, if you add a bunch of stuff in there, sometimes it can be hard for it to cure because it needs the light transmission to cure. So just be a little, test things out before you start going full force with UV resin, depending, I don't know what you're doing, but putting stuff in UV resin sometimes can inhibit the cure because you can't get that UV light to penetrate. So just one little tip there, watch out. Oh, well, California's close. Just right over the hill. All right, so, man, if I lived in Phoenix, yeah. I wish I did, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I'm out of the red, mica powder stuff, so then I got to have them ship it all the way up here. And I, like everybody else, I'm like, oh, I just placed an order 2 days ago, and I need to do something else, and my order just shipped, so I don't know how much shipping money I've wasted on stuff. Okay, so for this next batch, what I want to do is we have red and green separate, and I want to do like 3 of the blanks. We're going to do like green halfway and then red for the other half, and it should work fine. I don't think that it's going to mix together and do anything for 2 reasons. I'm loading it up so much with glitter that it's not like it's going to be moving around. And then the other thing is, I'm also waiting till the end. That's when I pour, is at the end of the working time. So it's already thickened up. So it should just kind of plop down. You pour your green in, let's say first, and then you pour the red in. It's going to plop down, but it's just going to kind of build up from there, not mix. So should be pretty easy. So we'll do 3 half and half, and then we'll do like 4. Actually, I think we're going to switch that up. We're going to do 4 half and half. It'll just work out a little bit easier. And then 3 of them we'll try kind of going back and forth. And so I'll do those first when the resin's a little bit thinner. By the time I get to the 7th pen blank, I'm waiting till like 98 degrees, but it's going to keep getting hotter and thicker as I'm pouring this stuff. So I'm going to do the ones where we have to do more steps first. So we'll do 3 of those, 4 of the others, and it should be pretty good. I don't know what the deal is with my voice today. It's really annoying though. Okay. So overhead cam. All right, so number 2, red/green. And again, we're going to use the Gatling mold and slow set clear alumilite. So in this case, let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit of extra resin just because we're going to have 2 cups and it's going to be getting thick by the end. So we're going to go with 330 grams total. So 165 times 2. And again, the alumilite clear slow is a 1-to-1 mix ratio. So whatever the number is, just divide by 2. And then in this case, we're going to have 2 different cups. We're going to do 30 grams of red glitter and 30 grams of green glitter. All right. Should be pretty easy. I think that's about it. Yep. And so the ones, and they have a couple different colors or whatever for this stuff. And you can pick whatever, but I use the melancholy green, and I'm using strawberry syrup for the red. All right, so get our cup out. Now 2 cups. Zero that out. And we'll start with our part A. Okay. A couple that were already open, so we'll use those up first, of our glitter, that is. Okay, so 165 grams of part A. Super excited. We're supposed to be getting a pretty good couple storms, like feet of snow in the mountains. So hopefully I'll be able to pull the snowboard out soon. The ski resorts are open at this point, but I don't like going this early in the season. It's like there's like 3 runs open, everybody's on them, and they're all idiots. Not my type of party. So I like to wait. A lot of times I'll end up waiting till January before I actually even go. That way we have a good base. Whole mountain's open. The throat's not that bad. I don't know what's going on today. It's just dry, kind of. Talking too much. You met Chad at SWAT. Nice. Let's see. Tim's asking, how does one calculate volume and convert that to grams? To be honest, it's a pretty much like, you can just say that it's the same. That's how I approach it. And you know, if you're used to, like, let's say, you know, I'm making 300 grams of resin in these cups, or 330. I pretty much just go, okay, it's like around 3. I would probably like round up. Man, my voice is killing me today. Hold on, guys. Jeez. Because I haven't been talking this much lately. So I would just round up to 350 and call it 350 milliliters. It's pretty close to the same. Obviously, and then if you had to, you could convert to, you know, ounces then. But that's one of the reasons why it's a little bit easier to go with like the grams and milliliters. It just seems, it doesn't matter either way. You could, if you're weighing in ounces, you could just convert to ounces. But it's pretty close, I think, like 1 to 1. Let's see here. 165. I had to think. Part B. Okay. So this is the total amount of resin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break off half into this other cup. I really don't know what's going on with my voice. It's weird. Yeah, milliliters to grams. Either way, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put 165 in here. And so basically at this point, probably about 1.5 baggies is probably going to work, but I got a few that are kind of half half full. Okay, so we got about 5 out of that one. 4 grams. Actually, oh, there's more in there. Come on. Get out. Again, we're going for 30 grams of glitter. We're at almost 20 now. There we go, 30. Six cubic inches. Well, there's, depending on what resin you're using, there's a resin calculator. Basically just take, the cubic dimensions, multiply by 0.554, and that'll give you the ounces. That's for alumilite clear slow, but, or I guess, actually I don't even, technically I don't know. I guess it should kind of work for any of them. I usually overshoot the first time I use a mold just because you don't want to undershoot, The other way to do it is go rice, pour a bunch of rice in there and see how much volume it takes. If you are doing volume measurements, you'd use water. I don't really love doing water in molds, personally. I don't like water anywhere near resin. But it works. Some people do it. It's accurate, that's for sure. So does anybody like the show? Are you watching the show Stranger Things? I just had to talk about that a little bit. Don't give anything away, but we started watching it and then it kind of went away for a while, and then it came back for the 4th season. So we've been we watched all, started from the beginning again, and we're on the 4th season, almost to the last one. Man, that show is so good. I love it. No spoilers though, guys. Here we go, 30. First 2 seasons? Yeah. Season 4 has been pretty intense. Like, they came out the gate, and it's actually kind of surprising because Gretchen does not like suspenseful, horror-ish, scary kind of things. Not to say that Stranger Things is super scary, I don't think, but she can actually watch it, which is kind of, I'm actually surprised. Especially with season 4, it's pretty gruesome. All right, so I'm gonna wait until the resin reaches about 98 degrees, and that's Fahrenheit. And then we'll do some pouring. Again, we'll do 3 that are like, we'll do a bunch of different levels of green and red alternating, and then we'll do 4 where it's half and half. Yeah, Stranger Things is pretty good. Such a good cast, and I mean, all the 80s references I love. But you haven't watched TV in 13 years. Well, good for you. TV rots your brain. I don't know. Is Netflix TV, though? That's the question. No, I don't. I'm not sure who Voice Play is. I will definitely look into that, though. That's cool. All right, so where are we at temperature-wise? 87. Got a ways to go. Nah, TV on the YouTubes. No time for that, huh? Well. We like to watch a little TV at night. It's fun. Usually, though, I mean, for like most of the year, we're watching baseball. We're at 88. Doesn't seem like it went up very much. I think if my shop was at my house, that might change things a little bit. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. Once I go home, there's nothing else to do, so I'm on YouTube or we're watching the. I don't usually watch YouTube on a TV. I usually watch on my computer. So I would consider Netflix TV, but I don't really consider YouTube TV because I don't watch it on a TV. Oh, acapella group. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we got rid of cable a long time ago. The only time we actually watch anything on, 'cause we do have an antenna, just for, you know, stuff like that. Like Gretchen likes to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade and stuff like that. So sometimes we bust out the antenna. Not very often though. We switched to streaming a long time ago, probably 15 years ago. Yeah, my shop's 30 minutes away, so it's like I get here and I just want to get work done, and I get home and obviously I'm not getting, well, I do like video editing and stuff at home. I got enough things to do. I deserve a little TV time here and there. All right, we're at 93. This seems to be taking forever right now. 93. I'm so excited. I want to see how these things turn out. So I got to remember, three is going to be kind of a back and forth type deal. $95. Oh yeah, tornado season. Glad I don't have to worry about tornado season. I think I'm actually going to start pouring this just a little bit earlier because we're going to have a lot of pouring going on. It's not just dumping it. So we're at about 95. And I think I'm going to start. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3. There's probably going to be a few blobs on the sides. That might be too much. Yeah, I didn't really plan that very well. I poured quite a bit in there on that first round, not really knowing how much I was pouring. Oh. So they're not going to be super alternating. I think let's try that again. I'm going to do some more with the more alternating colors. Forgot to do that one last time. And then I'll do half and half here. Hard to tell where half is in this mold. We'll say that. Okay, and then like I said, I'm gonna pour a little extra on the top. Just to kind of mitigate the volume going down. Okay, and then we'll switch to this other camera. Oh. Whoops. How about we just do this? The battery died, I guess. Forgot to plug it in. All right. And into the pressure pot we go. Woo! All right, I'm gonna flip that back up. That's a little high. That's too much. Okay. And we're gonna go back to this view. And we're gonna do a little bit more in our Happy Fun cup. All right. I'm just wiping off the sticks here. And I can reuse them. And like I said, I like to wipe them off with a little bit of acetone. Ready to rock for right away. Got to get all the glitter particles off. We don't want glitter in everything. Okay, toss these. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup on aisle 7 here. Yeah, that didn't work too well. You can just let it dry, but I got to do some other work. Okay, so let's see here. Is there any other questions? That is a very good question. Does the, oops, that's the wrong. There we go. Does the temp of the pouring room matter? It matters a gigantic deal. So if it's 95 degrees in your shop, you're not going to have 12 minutes of working time. It's going to set up quicker. The other thing is it's also going to thin your resin. Again, so 60 degrees versus 95, you're going to have a much thinner resin when it's hotter to start out with. So a lot of times I have to alter these numbers and temperatures and all that kind of stuff and how long you wait to get it to the right thickness when I pour. So I don't recommend going much below 60, really. I really recommend resins in general, all of them, they like warmth a lot more. But like I said, so right now it's 69 degrees in my shop. Somewhere around room temperature is kind of where the sweet spot is. When you get higher, things get accelerated a little bit more. When you get lower, things are a little slower. So you have more working time when it's a little cooler and less working time when it's hotter. And like I said, these numbers and when you pour kind of things, a lot of times you're going to have to kind of alter that. And so in the summer, you might have to kind of go up. For something like this, Let me just try and give you guys an example of a summertime pour with this glitter. And this is why I keep notes, guys, because I don't know what the numbers are offhand. Although I might know a little bit more if I didn't keep notes on everything. Not finding. I want to say that I would probably be around 115. I would wait till it's about 115. You know, when it comes to those, well, that's a little bit different. Like the autism puzzle piece, like so, like that the shape glitters, those things. I mean, I'm up at like 130 degrees is what I wait till to pour. But those sink a lot easier than loading up a bunch of glitter like I'm doing here. So it is going to change for the most part. You're going to have to kind of alter things and adjust a little bit depending on the temperature in your shop. Now, if you can have a climate controlled shop that pretty much stays the same, then you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You know, once you dial it in, you don't need to change. So, you know, that is one thing that I wish that I had. We keep the shop here, you know, it's heated. So it's, you know, it doesn't get below like 68 ever, basically. And so for like 3/4 of the year, it's around 68 to like 72, like all the time. And then in the summer it gets hot and I need to adjust my numbers, which is kind of a pain, especially when you're doing production work type stuff like this. Having to adjust things definitely doesn't make your life any easier. But for the most part, it just takes a couple of, you know, tries to kind of get it dialed in, and you'll kind of know. I don't have any like percentages or numbers, or it just really kind of depends on your situation. And it also, sometimes, you know, you may find that a slightly different temperature works better for the way that you pour things, especially like on color swirls and different stuff. You may find that, you know, you like it hotter or cooler, you know, that temperature of the resin before you pour, because there is some technique. It's not just waiting for a temperature and then everything just works out magically. There is a little bit of technique that you have to learn, and your technique may be better suited for, you know, like a higher temperature possibly, or a thicker resin. That's a little bit more like color swirls. For something like this, all we're doing is we're just trying to lock that in. And so there's not a lot of technique. It's just really kind of that timing thing. So anyway, it's pretty fun. Connie loves the glitter. That's fun. Speaking of glitter and everything, yeah. I like it in most things, you know. Most things. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this come together. It was pretty fun. So on Saturday we'll turn up. I'm not sure which one we're going to turn. That'll be the big question, I think. But we'll make a pen out of one of these guys. And then the subscription box folks, you guys are going to get, you know, one in each. Every one of you guys will get one of these. And then the whatever's left over will be up on the website. So I'll have to kind of separate those out and figure out what's going on with all that stuff. But probably by Saturday, maybe they might be up on the website, whatever we have left over. Bare minimum next week for sure. So pretty cool stuff. Oh, good. I hope that sometimes I get a little long-winded and like it. I know what I'm trying to say, and it doesn't come out that the right way. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great evening. Thank you all for joining the fun tonight. And I think that's so. Again, if anybody, did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did at the beginning. There's a few people that were kind of bummed out that they missed out on the candy cane pen blanks. So, and I only made like 6 the first round. So I thought I'm going to make another batch. So these guys I just need to cut them right now after the stream's over. But they're already in the inventory on my website. So if you want to pick up one of the candy cane or the holiday pine cone pen blanks or stopper blanks, or the, I got to quit talking soon, or the pumpkin spice blanks, They're available in the limited edition section, and this is where these ones are going to be too once they get up there. There's a link to that, and I've already linked to the Gatling mold in the description, as well as the other way to go is just use PVC pipes. And Turner's Warehouse now sells the clear PVC pipes along with the plugs. So those are all linked down in the description below. This is a much cheaper way to go. But if you're going to be doing kind of more types of production, you're going to do more blanks, I do think silicone molds are a pretty good way to go. It just, you don't have to like do anything. They're just very simple. One of the things that I was running into is I was using a ton of stoner going through the PVC pipes. So if you're going to be making a lot of blanks, I think it makes sense to spend the money on a silicone mold. So mine's available if you want the 7 with the 6-inch deep, 3/4 inch, or the other way to go, and they're cheaper, is the P-Town subby ones. So that's all I got to say about all that stuff. Let's see here. Oh yeah, a good point, Kim, and it depends on the resin you're using. So all of what I just said, that only applies to alumilite clear and alumilite clear slow. I know there's no label on it, so that made no sense, but that's all. That's the only resins that works for. Other resins are going to be different, so it depends. Especially the epoxies and things, they're going to be much higher temperatures generally. They get hotter. So yeah, good point, Kim. So anyway, guys, I should probably go and rest my voice because I'm having trouble. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the night, and I will see you guys all on Saturday's stream. That one, again, we're going to be doing that. I'm just going to say it's going to be at 3 o'clock. They're usually at noon on Saturday, but with the COVID thing, I don't know if I'm going to test negative. And I've been trying to separate myself. My dad and I are working different hours in the shop to kind of keep him from getting it. So let's just put it at 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. On Saturday, we'll turn up one of these pin blanks, and it should be pretty fun. So anyway, guys, excuse me, have a great night. I don't know what the deal is in my voice. And I will see you guys on the next stream.